I'll emphasize, right, Sushritika? So because
Yes, sir.
the rest of the point, which is the theoretical point, you have already written in your this CBSE class.
Normal note.
Yeah, CBSE class, the normal CBSE classes. And here I'll tell you some examples also. So this classification. Okay. Right. So this is called a mixed kingdom, right? Why it is called mixed kingdom? This is the kingdom of eukaryotic unicellular organism, right? And why we call it mixed kingdom? Can you tell me why we call it mixed kingdom?
Sorry, sir.
Why we call it mixed kingdom? Look, uh, we have taken all unicellular organisms, right, under the single umbrella, right? So in Protista, the kingdom Protista has been made taking all eukaryotic, all eukaryotic unicellular organisms, right? So we have taken some organism from kingdom Plantae, right? So previously, they like the algae, unicellular algae, they were studied in Plantae kingdom, but after the formation of the Protista kingdom, we have take out this algae, unicellular algae, only unicellular algae. We have taken out the unicellular algae from Plantae and we kept it here, right? So they are the photosynthetic Protista, right? Then the another group is that is consumer decomposer Protista. Basically, unicellular fungi have been taken out from the some of the unicellular fungi. They have been taken out from the fungi and we have kept them over here, right? Then some of the unicellular animals they have been taken out from the animalia and they have been kept over here. So we have taken out all the unicellular eukaryotic organisms from different kingdoms and we put them under the single umbrella, under the single kingdom, that is the Protista. So you have taken out the organism, you picked the organism from Plantae, you have picked the organism from fungi, you have picked the organism from animalia, you have taken out organism from different kingdoms and you have made a single kingdom. So that's why this is called mixed kingdom. Got it? You got my point?
Yes, sir.
So look, Plantae are photosynthetic, fungi are decomposer, animals they are the holozoic, right? So we have divided Protista into three parts. Photosynthetic Protista, those protistans which make their own food like algae. Consumer decomposer, those protistans which decomposes, means they are the saprophytes, right? And the third one, Protistans Protista. Here we have kept the animal cell, right? So we have kept them in three parts. Now, what are the general characteristics? This is important, right? You may get the question which of the following is correct about the Protistants, which are following is not correct about the Protistants, right? Here, the body is surrounded by a cell membrane or pellicle. So this pellicle, this point is important for your NEET examination. Look, photosynthetic Protestant. So this is important. So what is the pellicle? What is pellicle? Chidika, any idea? I think you was not there in this class when I taught this one.
No, I was there. It's a thick skin. It's a thick skin that covers the membrane.
Write it down. This question I've been asking me. Look, note down. Pellicle is a thin elastic covering, thin elastic covering made up of protein, thin elastic covering made up of protein, and found only in protista. Photosynthetic form have chloroplast, that is true. Some of them have cilia or flagella for movement. Locomotion takes place through cilia, flagella, pseudopodia, and first food. Nutrition may be photosynthetic, saprophytic, parasitic, or holozoic. Holozoic, you know what is a holozoic nutrition? If any organism engulf food in the form of particle, we call it holozoic, right? Asexual reproduction takes place through binary fission, multiple fission, and spore formation and budding. Sexual reproduction is also found. So these were the general characteristics. Nothing important about them. Types of protistan. Types of protistan. I will keep on telling you what are the neat questions. Then you will come to know what are the neat questions. This is very important. Types of protistan. So further, protistans have been divided into three main categories. The same as above we have seen: photosynthetic protestant, consumer decomposer protestant, and protogen protestant. Here you need to take care, right? Again, this photosynthetic protestant have been divided into three main groups, right? Dinoflagellate, chrysophyte, and euglenoid, right? Consumer decomposer, they are only single type of the organism, slime molds. Protozoan protestant have been further divided into four groups: flagellated protistans, amoeboid protistans, sporozoans, and ciliated protistans. So this is a sort of classification. Did you got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll study them one by one. Okay. The first line was a question, right? This question have been asked, right? The first line, it's very important. So first line is that they constitute the main portion of phytoplankton, right? Phytoplankton. So they constitute the main part of phytoplankton. So what are the phytoplankton? What are the phytoplankton? So note it down. Phytoplankton, just have a notebook and note down in the bullet point. Phytoplankton are the floating unicellular organism, eaten by fishes and crustaceans as a food. So basically, fishes and crustaceans, small insect like they are called crustaceans. Some small insect mollusks, they are crustaceans, and crustaceans as a food. So basically, this is the major food for the vegetarian fishes. They are green photosynthetic organisms. That's true. Further, photosynthetic organisms have been divided into three categories: dinoflagellate, chrysophyte, and euglenoid. Right. So, what is the general characteristic of dinoflagellate? First and foremost, you have to remember two names: Goniolax and Gymnodium. I'll make you clear. Look, here you can see look, mostly marine, but some are found in freshwater. Now, the second point is a question of need, and this question have been asked multiple times. Right? Already, you will see this question in previous year question paper. Gymnodium and Goniolax. You have to remember the name of these two, right? Gymnodium and Goniolax. So gymnodium and goniolex are the this one, gymnodium and goniolex. So gymnodium and goniolex are two photosynthetic protistans. They make the water look like red and they causes red tide. So the question I've been asked, which of the following is responsible for red tide phenomena, right? Which of the following produces bioluminescence, right? That kind of the question. So gymnodium and goniolex, they are two dinoflagellates. These two dinoflagellates, they are responsible for production of bioluminescence. Means they produces light, right? They produces light, and because of this light, they give red appearance, right? And this phenomena is known as the red tide. Red tide. So bioluminescence is the production of the light. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So note down the name: gymnodium and goniolex. Gymnodium and goniolex.
Done, sir.
Done. Okay. So they are responsible for phenomena of bioluminescence. Cells are basically covered with a coat called lorica or theca. That is also important. So the question which have been asked, lorica or theca are made up of. So what is the composition of lorica or theca? They are basically made up of cellulose, right? So please note it down. Lorica or theca, lorica or theca, made up of cellulose. Lorica or theca, made up of cellulose. Right? So
Yes,
they
sir.
are they are golden brown parasites. So their outer covering, this outer covering is called steel. It is also called lorica or theca. It is made up of cellulose. One more important thing, they have two different flagella, right? So two different flagella. One is vertical and another is horizontal flagella, right? So what we call this kind of a flagella when organism have two different flagella. Any idea? We use a term called heterocone. This is called
Heterobus.
heterocone. Heterocone means when there are two flagella, but both are different. Either they are different in shape or they are different in length, right? Fine. If two flagella are there and they are the same, we'll call them isocone, right? Heterocone means two flagella, but morphologically different. If any organism have two flagella, they have heterocone flagella. Heterocone means hetero means different, right? Different. Two flagella, different. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next is that they contain chlorophyll A and C. Chlorophyll B is not found because this is found in the higher organism, and they have starch. The next important, the starch and oil as a reserve food. This is reserve food. A sexual reproduction takes place through cell division. Sexual reproduction present in some form, right? So this was the important for the these were the important factor of the chrysophytes, dinoflagellate. Come to the chrysophytes. So basically, the chrysophytes, there are two organisms in chrysophytes. What are those two organisms in chrysophytes? Diatoms or desmids, right? So diatoms are very important organism, very famous kind of organism. So their body look like this one, right? they have two like tiffin box, like it look like lunch box, which which kids take to school. This is like the lunch box of kids, right? So it look like single lunch box. So lower part and upper part. So upper part which look like a lid, it is called epitheca, and lower part is the bigger one, that is called hypotheca. So it is made up of two, right? In central there is a groove like structure called drapery, right? And there are some design sides, they are called girdle for that, right? So what happened? What is important for that? Let's say this is a water, and there are diatoms. So diatoms, after the death, they keep on falling on the uh, base, or they keep on falling on the this basin part. What happened? Basically, their body is made up of silica, deposition of silica. They do not degrade easily. They get deposited, and their body, their shell or their dead body remains intact for the thousands of years, hundreds of years and thousands of years. So they keep on depositing. Due to deposition of dead body of these diatoms, this soil is called diatomaceous earth. It is very important, economically very important. Diatomaceous earth, right? So they all are aquatic and moist terrestrial habitat. They are found in water or in water moist bodies, right? They show gliding movement, right? So what is the gliding movement? They contract, then they expand, contract, expand. So like this way, they contract and expand. Like this way, they show the gliding movement. Why? Because like chrysophyte, they do not have flagella like the structure, which help them in swimming, right? Their frustules means their body structure, external structure. This is called frustule. Their frustule,
Their body structure?
this body covering, this one. Epitheca, hypotheca,
Yes.
this complete body. This is called frustule. It is written over. Look, frustule.
Okay.
This complete body is known as frustule, right? And frustule is made of lower half hypotheca, upper half epitheca. That's how you can understand. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Their frustule do not decay easily. What I was telling you. They pile up at the bottom of water and reservoir and form diatomite or diatomaceous earth, right? This diatomite or diatomaceous earth is very important. Why? It is used as a filter. It is used for the filtration of syrup, filtration of the petroleum, filtration of the alcohol or whiskey. So that's how it is used. It is very economically important. And you know that many of the toothpaste you use, they use this diatomaceous earth in toothpaste like Colgate and all that, which uh, which you feel that there are crystals are over there. So those toothpaste they have the this diatomaceous earth over there. They do not have flagella. Reproduction by binary fission. Very, very important point. This is the neat point. Other than diatomaceous earth, about half of the organic matter synthesized in the world are produced by them only. Whole earth, the food which is produced in whole earth, 50% of the food. Very amazing, very uh, interesting fact. Uh, because they are very small, they are tiny organisms. But 50% organic food of the world is made by diet. You can note it. About half of the organic matter, about half of the organic matter synthesized in the world,
Half of the organic matter?
synthesized in the world is produced by them only. It's produced by the atoms only. Now the use of diatomaceous earth is given over here. Diatomaceous earth is used for clean as a cleaning agent, toothpaste, sugar, alcohol, oil, syrup, etc. And they are pollution indicator as well, right? The next is euglenoid, and example is euglene. So here in Euglena, you can see this is Euglena. This is the very peculiar um, organism. This is the only single piece in the world. This kind of the organism is not found. Why? Why I'm saying like that? Because basically the Euglena is an animal cell, and across the earth there is not even single animal cell which can make its own. Have you seen any other example?
No, sir.
This is the only animal cell which have capacity of making its own. So let me first explain, then you will come to know all this point which is written over there. Look, uh, these amoeba, these Euglena, if light is present, what they will do, they will make food with the help of photosynthesis because they have the food. If suppose that light is not present for multiple hours or many hours, so what will happen? They will eat organic matter. So they can opt. They have two methods of eating. They are autotrophic as well as heterotrophic, right? So look, go to the come to the this diagram. They have pellicle. So outer covering is pellicle. It is pellicle is peculiar characteristic of animals, right? So pellicle, this is the animal characteristic. Uh, covering, this covering is made up of the protein and stretchable, right? This is the stretchable, right? They have the nucleus, nucleolus, mitochondrium. Chloroplast is present over, right? There is photoreceptor. This photoreceptor have capability of sensing light, right? There is a contractile vacuole. Contractile vacuole. What is the character? This is also characteristic of animal. Try to understand. Even you can get the question: which of the following characteristic of amoeba is a characteristic of animals? Right? Which of the following characteristic belongs to animal cell in Euglena? Right. So what are the contractile? What is the use of contractile vacuole, Siddhika? We
It
have discussed that.
gets rid of the extra water.
Exactly. Very good. They excrete. This is a excretory organ, primitive excretory organ. They excrete the waste, right? Waste. Fine.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
they store carbohydrate and endoplasmic reticulum, right? Golgi operators. So these are not that important. They have photoreceptor. They have flagella, right? Stigma or eye spot. Stigma or eye spot. It provides them sense of light. Sense of light, right? The Euglena is called connecting link between plant and animal cell. That you need to remember. I made the already star over there. Why? Because it has characteristic of this is the only animal cell which can make its own food by photosynthesis. Right? So please note it down. Euglena is connecting link. Euglena is connecting link between plant and animal cell. Euglena is connecting link between plant and animal cell. Next one. Body is covered with pellicle. Body is covered with pellicle. In place of body is covered with pellicle. In place of cell wall. They are found in fresh water. They have flagella or for locomotion. So look, I was discussing with you the mode of nutrition. The mode of nutrition they have, this mode of nutrition is called heterotrophic mode of mixotrophic mode of nutrition. I'm sorry, mixotrophic. What is the mixotrophic? If light is present, they will do the photosynthesis. They will make their own food like autotroph. If light is absent, they will eat organic particle and they will behave like heterotroph. So please note it down. They have amoeba, Euglena have mixotrophic mode of nutrition. Euglena have mixotrophic mode of nutrition. Mixotrophic mode of nutrition. It behave as both. It behave as both autotroph as well as heterotroph. Right? Reproduction takes place through binary fission, that you know. They have contractile vacuole, their function is clear to you. Is that clear, Siddhika?
Yes, sir.
So we have covered this one. Like we have covered all this feature of this photosynthetic protista, dinoflagellate, chrysophyte, and euglena. So I have told you what were the question, what kind of the question have been asked. Come to composer decomposer. They are also called fungus animal. Why? Because fungi are the decomposer. But these fungi have a special characteristic. They can eat some organism like amoeba. So that's why they have characteristic of fungus, they have characteristic of animals, they are called fungal animals, right? So look. Why they are called consumer decomposer? They are called consumer because they can eat some other organism. They are called decomposer because they behave like fungi as a decomposer. Slime mold possess characteristic of both animal as well as fungi. That's why they are called fungal animals, right? They are also called protistal fungi, and they have phenocytic condition where multiple nucleus are present. So ectoplasm, endoplasm, they are phenocytic. They do not have chlorophyll, so they cannot make their own food. They do not have cell wall. Cell wall is not found. Try to understand. Cell wall is not found, right? Cell wall is not present. Cell wall is found in fungi or not? Ritika?
It's found.
Cell wall is found in fungi or not?
Yes.
So what is the composition of cell wall in fungi? Which chemical make their cell wall? Chitin, right? Chitin.
Yes.
Yeah, we have already discussed that in plant, the cell wall is made up of cellulose. In bacteria, peptidoglycan. In plant, cellulose. And in fungi, chitin. Chitin and cellulose both are the carbohydrate. Means they both are the sugar. They do not have chlorophyll. They do not have cell wall. They are found in decaying vegetable, lawns, and gardens. Right? Nutrition. Again, the same kind of the nutrition. Right? Nutrition. So previously we studied that in exotrophic nutrition, where photosynthetic heterotrophic nutrition both were there. Here nutrition is phagotrophic. So this is the slime mold. This is the food. They will cell engulfing. They will eat. Right? They behave as saprophytic because they are found on the dead and decaying organism. So nutrition is of two types. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Both sexual as well as asexual reproduction is found. This is the their life cycle. What happened? Try to understand. This is the main body of slime mold, right? This is the slime mold, main slime. Slime. Have you seen like slime? Nowadays, kids are using that slime which changes, which is like
Yes,
liquid.
sir.
So the slime mold term came from here. The slime term came from here. Got it? Slime molds are like the same way. It changes their shape. Other. So these slime mold are like that only. There was one very important question I want to discuss with you. This spore, right? The spore wall is made up of cellulose. That is the question which happened. Right? Cellulose. Clear? This question I was searching. This question I have seen multiple times. This question I've been asked. And it can be asked again, right? Very important. So I'll dictate it. First, try to understand. This is slime mold. First, what slime mold do? Slime mold keep on eating substances, keep on eating food, and increasing its size. Right. This is the mature plasmodium. Right. Preparing. Then what will happen when it will become mature? It will feed too much. It will become mature. Collect lots of food. Then it will make this kind of structure. It's called sporangium. Inside sporangium, formation of round structure takes place. This is called spore. After some time, when sporangium mature, this complete structure is called spore. When sporangium will be mature, reduction division or meiosis will take place. What will happen in reduction division? Again, the number of chromosome will become n haploid. These spores are surrounded by a wall called cell wall, right? While we have already discussed that cell wall is not found in the body of slime mold. Please note it down. The body of cell wall, the body of slime mold, is not surrounded with cell wall. Full stop. But the spores, of slime mold, bear cell wall, which is made up of cellulose. Now
Made up of?
Cellulose. Underline the cellulose. Now this spore will germinate, right? Some either amoeboid cell will come out. The spore will germinate, means it will rupture. From the spore, this amoeboid cell will come out, or this flagellated structure will come out. Try to understand. Either this amoeboid cell will come out, or these flagellated cells will come out, right? Flagellated cells have a particular term. These flagellated cells are called swarm cells. What we call them? Swarm cells. So either amoeboid cell will come out or swarm cell. What is the difference between two? Swarm cell will have flagella and amoeboid cell will not have flagella. They both are haploid. They will fuse. Sexual reproduction will take place. Zygote formation will take place. This zygote will divide and they will form. So this is the life cycle. So the question which have been asked, either the question will be asked from the spore, they have the cellulose cell wall, or the question you can get the question that what are the swarm cells, right? So swarm cells are gamete-like bodies. They are found in life. Tell me. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Look, now the third part, protozoan process. So we did photosynthetic, we did consumer decomposer. Now protozoan. Basically, they are unicellular animals, right? So protozoan, the best representative organism of the protozoa, this is just amoeba. These are called pseudopod. Pseudopod. Pseudo means false, and pod means food, right? You know, pseudo means false, and pod means food. So they are false food. Why? Because they appear, then disappear, appear, then disappear. So they keep on forming and deforming, and formation and deformation takes place. And with the help of these finger-like structure, finger-like pseudopod, they locomote, means they move from here to there. And they also help in the taking food, taking in. So basically, they are unicellular animals. They are first studied by Antony von Leeuwenhoek. This question I've been asked. Who discovered the protozoa? So Antony von Leeuwenhoek. So what is the contribution of Antony von Leeuwenhoek other than this one? Can you tell me? What else he did?
No, sir.
Basically, Antony von Leeuwenhoek was the person who saw the first living cell. Got it?
Yes, sir.
He had the credit of discovering protozoa, and he saw the first living cell. There are four types of the protozoa. Flagellated protozoa, which have flagella. Amoeboid protozoa, which look like amoeba, means amoeba is the representative organism. Sporozoans, which look like spores. Ciliated protozoan, which have small hair-like structure across their body, cilia. So look, their protoplast is divided into two parts, endoplasm and ectoplasm. If you will ask me, sir, what is the difference between two? I'll say there is a difference in the composition and there are difference in the density, basically, right? Contractile vacuole, this is meant for excretion, and we have already discussed that contractile vacuole is the characteristic feature of animal cell. This is not characteristic feature of any plant. So first, flagellated protozoa. In flagellated protozoa, you have to remember the example. Look, this is the Leishmania donavani. Leishmania donavani, try to understand what I am saying. Leishmania donavani is responsible for a disease in African continent, and the name of disease is Kala Azar or black sickness or dum-dum fever, right? We call it Kala Azar or black sickness because of this disease, because of infection of this protozoa, the complete body of a person become black, right? A person dies. Dum-dum fever, right? It's also called dum-dum fever. All these names are for the same disease, and it's caused by Leishmania donavani. This Leishmania donavani is transmitted through a sand fly. This is very important. Who is the vector, right? So sand fly is the vector. Note it down. Vector. You know the vector, Siddhika?
No, sir.
Look, how does the malaria spread? Through mosquito? So mosquito or vector?
Yes.
So vector are those organisms which carry a disease pathogen from one point to another point, right? Suppose that cholera. If we talk about the cholera, what happened? This house fly, it sit on dirty places, right? Dirty places, and wherever it sit on the dirty places, it bring cholera pathogen in their wings, in their legs. Then it sit on your food. When it sit on your food, it drop those pathogen at your food as well. right? That's how they bring the diseases. So you will say they are the vector. So vector are those organisms which carry pathogen from one point to another point. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Look, this is undulated membrane. This is blepharoplast or basal granule. Blepharoplast or basal granule is that root from where flagella originate, right? Root from where root from where flagella originate, right? This is blepharoplast or basal granule. Here, from here, this flagella originate. Along with the flagella, there is a this undulating membrane written over here. This is the flagellum. It helps in locomotion or swimming. They have also pellicle. I have again written the pellicle is stretchable membrane made up of protein. This is the characteristic of animal, right? They have reserved flat food granules and again ectoplasm, endoplasm, nucleus, and nucleus. They possess the flagella for locomotion. They are free living parasite or symbiote. The body is covered with pellicle. Nutrition is holozoic, saprobic, or parasitic. Asexual reproduction takes place by binary fission. Sexual reproduction is found in the same form, some form. So you have to only remember this thing. This is the question. Clear, Chidika?
Yes, sir.
Amoeboid protozoan, amoeba, you know. Amoeba, I have discussed the structure with you. There is a term phagocytosis. So amoeba eat food uh, by the process of phagocytosis. Phagocytosis is called cell eating. Our WBC, try to understand and focus over here. Our WBC also do the phagocytosis, right? They eat the bacteria, the same like amoeba. So what do amoeba do? Suppose that this is a food particle, solid food particle. This is nucleus. Amoeba will spread its pseudopodia like this way, and it will engulf this food particle, and it will make a food vacuole that will digest inside the food vacuole and remove the waste material, right? So phagocytosis, what you need to understand, try to understand. Phagocytosis means cell eating. Cell eating, when cell eat any solid particle, we call it phagocytosis. But when cell eat any liquid particle, this is called pinocytosis or cell drinking. When it engulfs a liquid food particle by pseudopodia, right? This is called pinocytosis. So what you have to remember, phagocytosis means cell eating, pinocytosis means cell drinking. Pinocytosis have been asked as a question. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. They develop pseudopodia for locomotion and food engulfing. The body remains covered with the plasma membrane. Nutrition is generally holozoic. Asexual reproduction takes place by binary fission, multiple fission, and spore formation. Sexual reproduction occurs by syngamy. What is syngamy? Two cell fuses. They make a zygote. Meiosis takes place, and inside this zygote, multiple cells are formed. At the time they will mature, they will rupture, and small amoeboid will be released. Right, small amoeboid cells. Right, they are daughter amoeboid. Daughter. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Uh, Note down one example. There is a an amoeba histolytica. This is responsible for dysentery. And amoeba histolytic. This is the amoeba which is responsible for dysentery. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now the sporozoans. So this is the structure of the sporozoans. There is a cap-like structure. They have nucleus. Again, they have pellicle. So most of the protozoa, they have the pellicle, right? They have mitochondria and cytoplasm. But they do not have flagella-like structure. They do not have pseudopodia-like structure. They are like a spore. That's why we call them sporozoans protozoa. The protozoa which look like spores. Plasmodium vivax is a type of sporozoans which spread malaria. Remember this fact, please note down. Plasmodium vivax is a type of protozoa. You may get to question malaria is caused by protozoa, bacteria, right? This kind of a question. So Plasmodium vivax is a type of sporozoans. That is protozoa, causes malaria. Very, very important. All sporozoans are endoparasites. What are the endoparasites, Siddhika? Found inside body. Ectoparasite found outside of the body. For example, mosquito are parasite, but they are found outside of body. They are ectoparasite. Leeches are ectoparasite. Endoparasite, malaria, protozoa, endoparasite. Bacterial infection, endoparasite. Right?
Yes, sir.
Nutrition is parasite, body is covered with pellicle, they have contractile vacuole is absent. That is also a question. They do not have contractile vacuole. Asexual reproduction through multiple fission. Sexual reproduction takes place through syngamy. Locomotion, cilia or flagella are not present over there. Last but not the least, ciliated protozoa. This is paramecium. This is called slipper molecule, right? But because this look like slipper. But the question for NEET exam is over there, Siddhika. It have two nucleus, right? So it is binuclear. This is the question. Try to understand. It have two nucleus. You can see macronucleus, larger one, micronucleus, a smaller one. Binuclear, two nucleus. Macronucleus is meant for metabolic reaction. Macronucleus means larger nucleus control the metabolic reaction. Micronucleus is meant for reproduction. Clear? This is the question. It is called sleeper animalcule. Please note it down. Macro and micronucleus. So this question have been asked. Micronucleus have been asked. What is the function of micronucleus? That is the question. They have a small hair-like structure, cilia, which is meant for locomotion. Numerous in number. They help in locomotion and food. Right? So it have contractile vacuole. Contractile vacuole is present here. Most of them are free living, means they are not parasitic, rarely parasitic. Nutrition is holozoic. They have contractile vacuole. Asexual reproduction, binary fission, that you know. And sexual reproduction by conjugation. Conjugation means two cells will come in contact. They will exchange the DNA, right? Transfer genetic material, and they get separated. That is called conjugation. So this was all about the protista. This was all about the protozoan. Is that clear?
Yes.
Did you got what kind of a question you can get?
Yes, sir.
Go through with it again.
Okay.
Revise the concept and practice some question.
Okay.
You have to practice some question. Come with a doubt. Note it down the doubt you have in MCQ. Definitely, if you will do the question, you will start. I'm sure. There is only one thing that, like, there is only one way that you won't discuss if you won't do the question. Any student who do the question, he or she will get a star. So everything clear, Siddhika?
1 second, sir. I'll just go through it once.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay. So go through with it. Do the practice. We'll see you next class. Tomorrow will be
Yes, sir.
basic class, right?
Inshallah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Bye bye.
Thank
Take care.
you.
Yeah, welcome.
Goodbye.
Bye bye. Good night.